Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen people talk about like, man, it's so cool to see one of the heroes dress up as Ghostface for the first time, and I'm like, did I not watch Scream?
That happened in the first one.
Yeah,
Sydney.
Hello.
It's been a while since I watched the first one.
She does that in the first one.
I've seen 2 through 6 now. Pretty
uses
recently,
the voice changer and everything.
Oh,
Calls
yeah.
Billy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Welcome back to Haunted by Tapes.
Hello, and welcome back to Strange Glow Video. Tonight, we have an amazing episode for you. We're going to talk about the masterpiece, the perfect film, the most glorious movie ever made.
We're not doing Leprechaun in the Hood right now.
Right. We're doing Scream 6 first.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got confused.
Before we do that, I do have a couple VHS tapes I found this week. Nothing too crazy.
Okay, what did you find?
Joe's apartment, Jesus.
Joe's apartment.
Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. Honestly,
I remember drinking Surge watching that.
Hell yeah.
I didn't enjoy either one of them.
Rushmore.
I believe I saw that at the theater.
Classic.
nice.
And you're going to be jealous of these two. Twister 2, The Terror Continues.
Well, how'd you already get that on VHS? They haven't even released it in the theater yet.
It's just a documentary video, but it's a sequel to a different documentary video. As well as Twister, starring Crispin Glover.
What?
Oh yeah, okay. So I just watched that the other day. Honestly,
What? What was hair?
And Harry Dean Stanton.
yeah, it's that's not a good movie. I will tell you that right now.
No, it's going to be great.
It's got to be better.
Crispin Glover is his normal eccentric self, and it's fucking glorious for that alone. But yeah,
They did the thing with the box. This is the bad thing that people do with VHS tapes. You see how the lip is folded there?
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, because they shoved it in there incorrectly. Yeah,
It's just
hate that.
Now I have to take it apart completely, slip the tape back in its place, and then fold it the correct way. Look at that shit. That just right there. That's just you
God.
fucking idiots.
It's really going to hurt the resale value.
I don't care about the resale value. I just, there's a proper way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is.
It needs to come with instructions.
So, yeah.
What'd you get, Justin? You buy anything?
I bought those Alf figures.
We did that. We did that last week.
No, I mean the Alf figures for the show.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah. Oh cool.
Yeah, that's what I'll be buying. That's going to be my big next purchase for a little bit. I've
been continuing my resistance of buying things because all the Mario movie toys are out. There's new DC toys. I did pick
those
up
Mario toys look so good. I've been eyeing them. I'm like, oh man, I want those. Like the Mario, Luigi, the princess looks good, and Bowser is so huge in that line. It's great.
Did you see the Mario Kart movie figures like in electronics at Walmart? You like pull it back and it'll go.
Oh, I didn't see those, huh?
All that the last one I was in. They're like $15 each, and they got like the main characters and then Koopa Troopa and something else.
Yeah, the only thing I saw was the Hot Wheels Mario track for the movie that they have.
Too. I did pick up the regular 4-inch yellow Toad. That was the only purchase I've made this week.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm working on getting those Alfs in so we can get those up for sale. So if you haven't seen yet,
get this little guy.
Yeah,
that's cute.
I should have picked
Where'd
that
you
up.
get that at?
AMC.
I should have picked that up for my friend
AMC
Jason
cup.
last night. I didn't even think about it. I snuck a tea in, so I didn't buy a drink.
I was like, you know what? looking back,
That's pretty cool with the hologram thing.
it'll be, especially in like 10 years from now, it'll be even cooler to me.
Yeah, I mean it's cool.
Oh yeah.
I'll be nostalgic. For
I'm not
seeing
enough
this.
of a Scream fan, though,
At least a little
but
bit.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, I do love a good promotional tie-in, and that's pretty cool. So
For sure.
yeah. So since I didn't really have anything, Nick, did you get that Child's Play figure for me?
I did not. Did you want me to?
I was hoping you would. If you go back by that way tomorrow.
No, I
you know, and hook me up.
I didn't get a message back. I hid that Alf, so I was like planning on going back there sometime and getting that. So
You want the regular Alf? Well, it'll
Yeah,
go
the-
nice with your Strange Glow video, Alf.
Hey, perfect segue. So our Strange Glow video, Alf, in collaboration with Phantasm Toys, which is Beducci Studios and Tony Taylor Toys, will be available soon. So we'll get the pre-orders up for that. And I think we're going to do at least one giveaway pack. So we're trying to boost the Patreon subscribers and such. So
Patron.
one lucky winner in the month of April will be entered to win. So basically sign up in the month of April.
This is literally like you subscribe to it, and we're going to start doing a lot more content on there. Like I think just covering shit that we watch on our own, just record a 20-minute bit and have it up there for you. There's going to be more commentaries. We're going to get back on things in a month or so, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily talk about
There's a lot of content.
Twister 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're trying to drum up some stuff there. So the grand prize will be a Alf figure from the collaboration. So the Alf Ghost, and then we'll throw in some World's Fair coins and some stickers and a little
And
pack
mind you,
there.
it's
Maybe
$2.99 to subscribe, and we don't have a lot of people who subscribe to this. So if you subscribe, your odds are pretty fucking good.
Mhm.
yep.
Like
hmm
we're not super popular yet. I say yet because someday we're gonna be like
still get picked last at gym class.
we're gonna be like the top most subscribed YouTube channel. People are gonna be like Mr. Beast who,
Mhm. We're gonna start selling
Yeah.
burgers, vegan burgers, I guess.
and chocolate, and we're gonna
Vegan-
get enraged when people
Vegan chocolate.
review it and say it's bad.
No, it will be bad. So,
yeah. Maybe not. Maybe you never know.
is there any
Hey, so anything
nerd news?
nerd news?
Probably
The
is.
Oscars, we can talk about those. Just because Brendan Fraser won an Oscar, Jamie Lee Curtis won an
Mhm.
Oscar.
Short round.
Yeah,
Mhm.
short round. That's all pretty sick.
That movie
I love
swept,
that.
which I guess
The
you could have
fucking
predicted.
comeback of both. What's that actor's name? I just know him as Short Round too. I feel bad.
It's one I don't think I know how to pronounce. So.
But him and Brendan Fraser. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, sure, she's already recognized though. Like people still they know her regardless of her Oscar status.
Michelle Yeoh. Is that how you, God damn it! That's not mine. I don't know what I'm hearing. Michelle Yeoh won an Oscar, the second woman of color in history. The first being Halle Berry, both of which were Bond girls.
Sick.
Main.
I like nice little tie-in
Tomorrow
there.
Never Dies and Die Another Day, respectively.
So people are saying like, "Oh, this is the first Oscars I've given a shit about in a while" and whatnot. And I'm just like, well, I don't really give a shit, but it's cool for Brendan Fraser
Mhm.
mostly, just because
And I've seen both
I
of
love
those
him
movies.
to death. So
Yeah, I saw some.
I enjoyed
good
The
stuff
Whale
about
more
that.
than Everything Everywhere All at
I haven't
Once,
seen it yet.
but neither.
Neither of them.
No, I-
On my list though.
The Whale is a good movie. I enjoyed that. We watched that recently.
I don't know why I
Um,
enjoy Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's usually my kind of weird, reality bending shit. But I
Yeah.
don't know. May I need to watch it again more in the mood, I guess. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, I still need to see that one. But yeah, I don't normally care about the Oscars. To me, it's like such an elite clique of
I know
people
what's
like
going on. I heard
fucking
all,
circle jerking themselves, basically. And it's like you're not giving a lot of awards to people. Their awards are very technical, and it's very lacking in diversity, and has been for years. So it's like, okay, this is pretty boring. Now this year,
Cannes is much more interesting
well, they stopped.
with their movie.
yeah,
They stopped airing
Mhm.
a lot of the categories too. They only.
It's not an award thing, but it's a festival. But still, like I think that's a lot more telling of what's really good artistically and not
Mhm.
just like commercially.
Mhm.
yeah, and there's so much controversy around all that. You're just like, come on, people, figure it out. So
Cool.
Speaking of the Oscars, Scream 6
Will not be participating.
no will not be stepping foot in the arena.
I think this will be nominated for some Razzies, though.
Oh God, I hope so.
It could be. Here's the thing. This one's getting a lot of people saying, man, this is the best one. I've seen a lot of people posting the rankings, and this is some people are saying it's their second favorite.
Yeah,
a lot.
There's slightly more gore. Are we just going to get into it? Or
Yeah, let's get into the beginning of this thing. So I will say there are a lot of things about it I liked, but there are a lot of things that are complete and utter horse shit.
I feel like
Yes.
the anticipation of thinking that cool things are going to happen was the only good thing for me.
Right. I was thinking, all right, how are they going to subvert this again, and
Well, I thought, okay, there's
expectations.
a killer. Okay, spoilers, everybody, if you haven't seen it. There's a killer in the beginning, a ghost face,
Well, this is what I
who
want to talk about.
immediately takes his mask off. And I was like, okay, so one of the killers, we're going to know who he is through the whole movie. So there's going to be like that.
That's what you thought, but I thought, oh, they're fucking with us somehow. There's no way they're going to let us know who it is. They wouldn't do a movie like that. So this is definitely them making you think that for sure.
That's the whole movie, is me thinking they're going to do something cool, but they never do.
Right. Well, it's almost too out there for the franchise to do that, breaking the rules of the franchise itself. I'm not saying that's a good thing necessarily.
Well, that's the other thing. This one's the franchise rules, even though it's technically been a franchise since the third one.
Yeah.
Because it only takes 3 movies to be a franchise.
No, that's a trilogy, Nick. That's a trilogy.
No, officially.
a trilogy?
Officially takes 3 movies to be a franchise. So Ghostbusters wasn't a franchise until 2016.
That's
So
not in
you're-
the same universe.
Although maybe a cartoon makes it a franchise. I don't know how that works.
It does. Cartoon,
Yeah.
comics,
So 2 movies and a cartoon is what.
video
so
games.
3,
Ghostbusters has been a franchise for a while.
3 things is all you need.
Just a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so this was an interesting fact because they show you a killer early on.
Well, let's talk about the killer. He's he's in Grand Budapest Hotel, and more famously nowadays in the Marvel movies as Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man.
yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
That's Tony
I knew he looked familiar.
Revolori.
Yeah, okay.
He's a great actor. I love him.
Yeah, he's good.
Fun to
I was
see him in
happy
here.
to see him in there.
He didn't last very long.
No, but I found that very interesting. It's one of the more interesting openings compared to 4, where 4 just does that triple fucking movie opening thing.
Yeah,
And that's what I was
ridiculous.
scared about.
that's what we
I
were
was
last week.
I was scared that was going to be some stupid stab sequel at the beginning.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought it
like,
was
fucking
Stab.
A.
Tab 8.
I was like, if you,
I was hoping it was, they'd went a different route, because that's kind of what I like about the sequels. They're just fun and dumb. And now I will say I did like this better than 5, but not by much.
I like 5 more.
5 has too much of that Ghost Billy shit, and it's
Well, that comes back in this one.
yeah, I know it does, but at least
I thought that
his
didn't bother
line-
me. It's a hallucination. It's not
Yeah,
like
his
he's
bit
really a ghost.
where she sees him in the reflection, and he's just like, "Yeah, let's slash motherfuckers up. Yeah, go for it."
Well, they're like-
that was funny to me,
Well,
but
they're like, we're not going to de-age him, so we're going to have to put him in a reflection, so we can't really
I
see him
still
that
think they tried to de-age him, but it looks
way.
terrible.
they didn't do a very good
He looks
job.
like he looks like Freddy Krueger, if anything. Speaking of all of the different references, you see they're watching Jason Takes Manhattan, or he
Yes.
is when he gets back there. That's pretty funny.
Mhm.
It's a very short clip, so unless you really know the movies, you might not recognize what
the
Right.
the Evil Dead poster on the wall in there.
Yeah, he's got a Vertigo poster in there.
And of course,
Um,
we see a lot of different costumes of different movies.
Yeah, later on in the subway scene, that's pretty cool. I liked that. Just the references to it. No, so he gets called, and he's basically one of the Ghostface was with his roommate, and they want to finish Richie's film or whatever, So
I thought they were a gay couple. Is that not it?
no, they're just roommates.
Oh, okay.
Like that'd have been cooler if they were gay, but he definitely didn't give me gay vibes. My gaydar could be. Whoa, hey!
Was that you? Was that your phone? Do you not hear it?
I don't hear it. No,
I'm hearing it.
it must be on your headphones.
Does Justin hear it?
No, I'm not picking
Now
up
it
any of
stopped.
that.
Now it stopped. You
Hold on.
moved your phone far away. Aha.
It's
No.
not just your headphones then. But still, I'll move it for you.
Yeah, no EMI over here.
All good now.
Everybody else in the audience just looked like I was about to get a hand job. Justin was like, "Holy fuck! Good thing we're not live."
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we are.
Get spooge on the camera.
Spooge on it.
You didn't know it,
You
but
see
you're
that
watching
he
Chatterbait.
knows- He like crosses path on his back.
We should
way back
stream.
to the-
We should stream this on Chatterbait sometime.
Jesus Christ!
Can we do that?
No, we wouldn't get views. You kidding me? You have the option of watching some of the some fucking shit, man, or this.
Well,
No,
people are gonna wonder what's going on though.
maybe
They're going to wonder if
like-
something's going to happen.
Well, yeah, you have the anticipation of that. he passes Jenna Ortega, on the way back to his hotel, showing that they like kind of know each other, and then he asks about her sister, and you're like, all right.
Well, that's why I thought it was going to be. We're going to know who the killer is, or one of the killers, and they're friends with.
Well, see, it was very shocking when they did that, and that's why they do it, to pull his mask off in there, and you're like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But again, I was immediately like, no, there's no way they're going to actually do this. This has got to be a stab 8 scenario is what I was thinking. But they subverted that a different way. And they keep trying to do interesting things throughout this, but they don't go full. Like, we'll get there, but like,
they just don't have the gumption to like follow through with anything exciting they're trying.
Well, then the actual killer is like, you should thank me. I've been protecting you because these guys were going to kill you. But he still wanted them dead. So it leads you to believe that it might be someone that
we'll get there. There's some big fucking plot holes in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, bigger than any of the Scream ones that I've noticed.
Did they change their mind on who the killer was going to be at some point in production, or did they like shoot a different ending? Or?
I don't know, but I was thinking that Ethan kid was the killer from the beginning.
I thought so too, just because he hardly got anything to do. It was like, so I don't know. I don't know if some reason that made it seem like he was going to be.
Everybody was hoping that this was going to be a killer that we knew already. Basically, that's kind of what they were planning on. And they tried to play on that later with the Kirby thing, but we'll get there again. What happens first? They go to that party, and then she shows up and tases that dude in the balls who's trying to bang her.
That was funny.
Which is fucking hilarious. Because my favorite part about that is not even like her actually doing it at the party. It's later on when she talks to the cop about it. She's like, "Oh, and I tased somebody in the balls."
Yeah,
like that callback to it to me was the funnier aspect of it.
Yeah,
I did like how she walked in there and just like, oh, wait, hold up. I'm just going to tase you in the balls real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Other than the ball tasing itself was, just whatever. It's like kicking somebody in the dick in a fucking children's movie. It always gets a bunch of laughs. Mm-hmm. Scratching Booger's ear. He's moaning over here. I can hear him.
I'm just petting the dog too.
Yeah, he's just petting the dog.
He's petting the dog.
Oh, keep petting the dog. Yeah. Oh, the dog's going to come. The dog's going to come.
So hairy. So they go to the party, and then the sister is mad at her for...
Oh, yeah, like, you're stalking me, whatever. And then she gets shit thrown on her in the street, and they later use that video.
Which I thought that was a good call-out, because that happens all the time. People show you part of a video clip and take it out of context so you don't see the full interaction.
Right.
It still doesn't make her look like a killer, though.
No.
No, but news
like a fucking, anybody practically.
Mm-hmm.
The news media does that kind of shit all the time. They show you what they want you to see.
The fake news media, according to Justin.
Exactly.
I didn't say fake news. I'm just saying they only show you part of it.
The liberal media machine.
Is that Trump flag new that's behind you? Is that a new decoration?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. See, I got his autograph right there.
It's a beautiful movie, The Lost Boys. I played David. I was David. And I did the best job. You see, look at my mullet. It was amazing. I sucked a lot of dick blood. I mean blood.
Shit-sucking vampire.
Exactly. So now, anyway, Scream 6, right?
Unfortunately. Let's talk about Lost Boys.
No, so that scene, who's killed next? Or they kind of introduced that whole thing where she's like, oh, you're staring at the guy next door. And I'm the slutty roommate. And then they are like, oh, no, there's later on the sex positive roommate. Blah, 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 blah.
It's the roommate that we think dies next, right?
Is that next? But either way, yeah. She gets thrown. Oh, actually, I think it's the convenience store next.
Oh, yeah, it's the shootout in the store, which is pretty intense.
Is an interesting scene. It's one of the better, like, intense scenes. It's just like, okay.
Did you notice that store sells Coors Light?
I honestly wasn't paying attention.
It's like in every shot from every...
That's funny. I didn't notice.
And there's like that can that was on the ground that she throws was some kind of...
Yeah, the distraction can is a Coors.
Some kind of Coors variant there.
But it was a slightly crunched and already 100% empty can, which is a bad detail. It should have had some beer left in it if it exploded. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't be crunched if it exploded either, unless it's implied to be tipped over from a trash can, which means the employees are drinking at work. There's lots of plot holes. That's just a small one.
The dialogue in the trailer where he says, "I'm different." That's not in the movie, was it? Or did I miss it? It's like, I'm a different ghost.
I didn't see it in there, and he wasn't different at all. It was just
Yeah.
Different. The way they implied he's different is that he isn't obsessed with the stab movies or horror movies at all. He's just trying to get revenge in general.
For their brother's son that was obsessed with those stab movies.
Yes. So, well, you want me to talk about the biggest plot hole in this movie? I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to spoil the ghost faces for you. Not like you didn't see it, but the detective, who would be Detective Kirsch.
Mm-hmm.
Can't fake his name and just transfer to a different police department. They never mentioned anything about that. So the police...
His son could have a different last name, though, like, potentially.
I mean, you could go that route, but they didn't try to explain it at all. That's the biggest plot hole of all, because she would... somebody would know, like, there's something up here. Like,
and how they not know that who his dad was?
Like, she didn't see... She only was dating him for 6 months, I think, in the last movie.
Yeah, but like in the public media, they'd been like, son of police off.
Well, exactly.
Some shit
that's what I'm saying. That's part
if
of
they
it.
had just said that he was never like part of his life or something. I don't know. But then he's got 2 other kids, so I don't know.
Yeah, see, the writing
never knew that her
sucks.
boyfriend had, unless he kept that shit from her, maybe
He probably...
But why would he?
because he was.
I don't know.
Killing people. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the biggest plot hole to me, is that he's the dad, but like, how is he just... You're letting him on the Ghostface case when he's the son of the killer? Like, other people would know that. They would be like, holy shit, the second person, his other daughter was killed by a Ghostface now.
Mm-hmm.
That would be on the fucking news and shit. Like,
I didn't even think about that.
Gail Weathers would
Yeah,
find all this shit out too, you don't think? Like, she was doing all that shit like, oh, you didn't know about this place? Like, Gail Weathers would have been on
That's
top of that
another
if they're
thing.
implying she's as
Gail was
good as she is.
Gail was a glorified cameo,
Yeah, pretty much.
and then they make it seem like she's gonna die, and then like some dialogue at the end. Oh, she's gonna make it. Like, why? Just let her die.
I mean, she was stabbed less than other people that survived,
Oh yeah.
which is...
But they made a big thing about legacy characters are expendable, even though a legacy character died in the last one. But
Not in this one.
But then they make it a big deal about it, and then not a legacy character doesn't die.
That's because they don't have any legacy characters left.
Well,
I mean,
her-
Kirby is technically a legacy character too, because she was from the 4th, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, which
Doesn't have to be from the first one. It's just Kirby and her. And the other ones from the last movie, I think they're implying that they're legacy now that they've been in more than one movie, but they're not. You know, it's like...
yeah.
And then Gail has new
I'm
boyfriend.
going to tell you. did
Oh, yeah.
Some-
Less than a year later.
some
Just
really young chocolate
Well, no,
bar.
Ghostface says to her too, those muscles didn't help at all. And she says, no, they didn't. Like, yeah, he was a lousy
Yeah.
fuck.
Okay, so
Dewey was better at eating pussy. That's for sure.
If the killer of her boyfriend was the nerdy guy, how did he throw that giant hot chocolate through the wall? And
Nick is calling this man hot chocolate?
that's a compliment. But how did he throw him? What did he throw him through? Like a glass window? I don't know. But how's he going to
Somebody did.
throw a guy twice?
But see,
his
that's
size?
the thing. They're implying that the cop was never Ghostface, and it was just them because
Yeah,
he's too old.
I wondered about that too. Was he ever in the?
No, he's in the one when it's the Scream 1 mask, I think.
Who's the killer on the subway? Because the dork son is
That was-
on the subway.
Quinn.
the sister?
So the
Yeah.
girl, that was the girl. So it was, when it,
She said she killed two. She said who she killed.
oh, okay.
She attacked Gail too. So she didn't actually kill either of those people.
Well, yeah, because the girl on
Neither
the
of
subway,
them died.
The girl on the subway didn't die.
She just shows up and is like, yeah, I went to the hospital and I'm all fine now, guys. Look at me running around. I got stabbed twice in the subway.
So did Jenna Ortega. She got stabbed in the stomach.
She
and
got
just-
stabbed in the back too,
But somehow she just
Yeah.
clean on her arm. They never goes to the hospital.
which they did in the last movie really
They
badly
did
too.
that a lot in this one.
Oh, this one takes
But
the
you know
cake.
what? No one dies except for the Asian lesbian girlfriend.
Well, the two guys at the beginning,
I mean, out of the
well,
group
yeah,
of friends,
this has a-
only one person
it has a
dies.
bigger body count than probably any other Scream movie, but it's
Does it?
mostly just off-screen characters. Like Ghostface kills like 3 or 4. You're at like 6 kill after the what's it called? Convenience store scene.
But
'Cause
in
he
the-
kills 3 people in the store, 2 people at the beginning. They kill 1 person at the beginning.
But in the main circle of friends, other than the ones that end up being killers, no one dies except for that one girl.
Yeah, there's the latter death.
But
which
she's a
is,
new character
but,
too.
but so many of them you think are dead, like the girl on the subway or Gail.
Yeah.
They're like a line of dialogue at the end or whatever, and they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the the Jenna Ortega's would-be boyfriend, or
He gets stabbed.
he ends up still
like
he ends
12,
up fine.
13, 14 times.
Because they have
Dude, no.
by two people, and they even say like he like they like wheel him up in the gurney, and they're like, he's still alive, and they're like, how? They're like, they even acknowledge like it doesn't make any sense, and he's conscious, at least be unconscious. Fuck.
For fuck's sake.
And
he would've bled it.
he takes the oxygen mask off to kiss her. Like,
So Ethan, he gets stabbed like 4, 5, 6 times by
which one's
Sam.
Ethan?
Right at first. Ethan's the
Dork?
yeah.
Okay.
So the dork gets stabbed by Sam like 4, 5, 6 times
Oh, and then
almost immediately.
and then he jumps up and attacks him.
And then he's just walking around going, "Oh, I'm gonna attack you! Come on down! Let me drop Jenna Ortega down to me! I've always wanted to put something in you."
Oh yeah. Who wouldn't?
Well, it's kind of referencing the "I've always had a thing for you, Sid."
Mm.
Scream.
Yeah, but some of the dialogue in this is just fucking atrocious. It's like, oh my god. And the
Yeah,
plot
so-
holes.
Wait,
The big-
after he does that, she jumps down and stabs him fucking through the mouth. Remember? And twists the knife around, and then he falls down again.
So it's like down his throat,
And that's after he's been stabbed in the chest like 6 times.
and he gets up and attacks.
And then
him
he gets
all
up
the
and
way.
attacks again. And you're like, okay, I get it where they're doing the thing, but like they're doing it not right there. That's a little much. Now I did like that, like the shrine, the idea of the shrine, but it's a little cheesy.
So are they supposed to be playing on a trope that people survive serious injuries in horror movies?
I don't fucking know.
Because
I think it's just lazy writing, honestly.
even think
They're
that's
just not even thinking it through.
I don't think that's normal in horror movies. I don't remember people getting that fucked up and still being fine. Not enough
Not
to
really.
be a
People
trope
do run
anyway.
around a lot and do weird shit depending on the movies. Like there's certain movies I've seen where people get thoroughly fucked up. And they're still-
Adrenaline, but
Well,
at
yeah,
the end
that's
of the
true.
movie, they wouldn't be going off adrenaline. They would be in serious
Well,
fucking shape.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, eventually your
my
body's
friend that
gonna
got
go in
stabbed on
shock.
the subway like runs up and starts talking like nothing happened. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and her brother, like we said, that motherfucker got stabbed like
So
billion times.
Are they planning for this group of friends to be in a lot of movies, and that's why they don't want to kill them off?
That's why I think they're calling them the core 4.
Yeah,
Like you had the 3 people before, and now you have these 4 are going to be carrying on the torch.
but even the older sister's boyfriend survives. He doesn't even get injured, and somehow brings cops. I don't know.
But this one played a lot off of Scream 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they even said that to begin with, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a college one.
But this one's a franchise. But no, they still did the Scream 2 thing where it's related to the villain from the last movie, literally the parent.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
And the boyfriend, who you're suspicious of, turns out to be fine and just very like the supportive person. But you know, Jerry O'Connell dies, right? So this guy doesn't.
Yeah. So one thing that really pissed me off in this movie at the beginning was in the alley death. If you're using a voice modulator, unless you've used a pre-recording thing to go through the phone, you would hear someone talking.
I thought that through the whole
Like-
movie, and that's not the only time
And
it happens.
And it's a problem for the Scream franchise, but in this one, it's terrible because like they're literally in the same room frequently.
It's really noticeable
Where you,
in Gail's apartment too. Where she's
yeah,
like,
where you're like,
behind
you
him, and he's
would
like
hear
in the
these-
closet, but he's on the phone talking. You would hear him talking in the closet.
yeah, you would hear that person talking, so the element of surprise would be gone.
Unless
I feel
he-
like
and
that
to me,
exists
like-
all of them though. So I'm just kind of
it seemed more
Eh.
noticeable in this one. I thought maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because normally it doesn't bother me. Normally I'm like, whatever. But in this one, it just seems like there's so many spaces where it was like,
Maybe you can whisper
do you not
really
hear this
low
person?
and it amplifies it or something. I don't know. Well, in some movies it could be, oh, what if it's one of the other killers talking to her, not the person that was in the apartment? Well, that wouldn't work for the alleyway killing though. I don't fucking know.
well, the last
not necessarily.
they used to have a device, you know, that they used to use, like a little voice changer box. But then in the 5th one, I think there's like some little, they have it like a button they push, and then it's like a connected under the mask, like it is, I'm sure, in these ones, or implied to be.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, they make it sound like it's an app on their phone by this point. So
yeah,
So about
I really did not like the detective. Like it's
he
the
known actor,
actors.
but I thought he did a really bad job in this movie.
it was very weird.
He-
I actually was like, there's something up. This
Was it-
guy's the fucking killer. I thought when
You thought the cop was?
Yeah, as soon as he came down after his daughter was killed, and then he was like, just totally hanging out and fine the rest of the movie. I was like, nah, that's not chill.
Well, I would think that's suspicious if it wasn't just uneven writing and directing.
Yeah.
A lot
No, I
of
get
characters
that.
seem to deal with trauma really well. Well, I mean, even
Well,
Jenna Ortega did.
I don't think the
when she
writers
thought
are
her boyfriend
stupid. They just
was-
make stupid choices.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Because it's like there's some smart things in here, and I get like some of what they're trying to do, but then some of it's just cringy as fuck.
Jenna Ortega seemed fine when she thought her boyfriend was dead. So
Until she realized later on, yeah, she was making snarky remarks. Nice job. You stabbed that guy in the fucking eyeball and shit.
I thought they were going to do the Friday the 13th 4 ending where like now she's the killer.
Oh. Well, yeah, I think they wanted you to think that for a second when she pulls the mask out there and then she throws it on the ground. And you're like, hey,
Well, they did that in part 5.
eBay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
She just drops it on the ground.
right.
That was the other thing, like saying, oh, like we found all this DNA in all these masks. And you're just like,
Because they were using the actual original masks.
and yeah, okay, so some cops you might.
Well, they were
not gonna
doing
be able
that.
to-
They were doing
You're
that
not
to
gonna be-
identify which mask it was, even though that doesn't really do anything for anyone except the audience.
Yeah, no, it's kind
Yeah,
of a
but-
weird plot.
Well, I thought that was kind of stupid and just lazy because, okay, there's going to be a lot of replicas of those masks, right? Specific ones or whatever else. But the fact that you have all these masks and like the one looks like it's aged, and I'm like, those masks don't age like that.
I just also
Yeah,
don't
they're
feel
all-
like you can just stab someone like that. Like she got stabbed on the subway. I just don't feel like that's realistic. One of those fucking people would have noticed.
Oh, and then the Asian girl that actually did die, she got stabbed and then he like slit up and then she was
Just like
you would have no core ability at all.
No.
And then she's like trying to crawl across the ladder. She should have
yeah, there's a lot of that. We're like, wow, these
Most-
people are on PCP.
Most of these people should have bled out, right? I mean, even at the end, the boyfriend should have been passed out for blood loss. Like, I can buy with you saying some people survive, but you're still going to pass out and need blood transfusions, like all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like,
the Asian girl only died because she fell off the ladder, not from her injury, from being stabbed.
yeah,
Oh, that was
Exactly.
pretty low when she hit her head on the dumpster when they landed.
Yeah, some of the kill effects are nice. I like the first.
There's a little bit more gore than normal.
The
but
first kill is pretty a typical one in the alley. It's just that you got a different scenario going on, so it's interesting
he
for that.
stabbed her a lot.
Yeah,
But
but
it was good, I guess.
Sam's been doing that since the last movie, and it is just over the top and a little. I don't know. It just looks like you're jerking the knife off.
Mhm.
And like when she was stabbing what's his face, and he has a bulletproof vest on,
hmm
and she's just going like, and you're not seeing anything. You can just like tell she's just it's just like fucking whack-a-mole over here.
Oh, and when he shot the clerk with the shotgun, they like had something blocking the head, so we couldn't see that. It's like,
Yeah,
come on, give us something here.
yeah.
yeah. The rating
What's his
board really
face?
screws with these.
When he killed the other kid in front of the fridge with the other kid's body in it, you did see guts from his stomach.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It wasn't
Yeah,
much, but
If
The
there's
kid
more
in the
gore
fridge-
these movies, I'd enjoy them a lot more.
Yeah, the kid in the fridge was like probably one of the best, like just grotesque scenes.
Mm.
So, but this is funny. So I went to the matinee showing on Saturday, right? And there's a couple of teenage girls that were sitting next to me that obviously had snuck in, right? Just by the way they were reacting and like responding to the movie, and they had to have, snuck into the R-rated, which I don't care. I used to do that all the time. But it was just funny to see them like get so scared at all the jump scares. And I'm just like not even phased by it. I'm just like
Right.
sitting there and I'm like, I'm just so jaded by all this. Like none of this, like even like I have no fear in any of these movies anymore. Like I don't get jump scares once in a while will get me, but that's you get me once.
this
Like,
was
you won't
almost
get
an
me on a
action
repeat
movie.
viewing.
You know what I mean? Like a dark thriller
Yeah.
action movie, just because there were so many guns too.
Mhm.
Ghostface,
Yeah.
had
But
a
that's
shotgun.
not normal for Ghostface to use a gun, really.
I mean, they always use a gun at the end of the movie. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But they've revealed themselves, and it's a whole different thing where they're like trying to.
They're
secure
using a gun with the mask off. Usually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's funny those because like the teenage girls that were sitting like nearby were like, like I could hear them like doing these things and like acting like out when they were getting scared by the jump scares and stuff. It was hilarious because I haven't seen people do that in so
They were
long.
probably-
I'm just like,
acting a little bit too.
yeah, but like it's just funny to see people get that into it because I'm just sitting there like not even flinching at anything. You're like, huh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we got to watch a snuff film to really get freaked out.
I mean, certain body gore, like certain things, like can be a little freaky, but that's about it.
Yeah.
What did you think about Kirby coming back? She seemed like
I wish there was just more of her, but I did like her in it. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a little, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch to make her FBI, but whatever, fuck it, I guess.
Did you fall for the misdirection of her being
Hell
out of the bureau for a couple months or something?
I thought there is no way in hell they're doing this. If they do this, they are morons. Because Kirby's just a fan favorite that they don't want to do that with. Like, that just wouldn't go over well.
Yeah, no, I thought they brought her in a little bit late, and I thought they underutilized her for what she went through.
She was underutilized, yeah.
For sure.
Her performance is pretty good, though. I appreciated that character and stuff, but her and the cop and everything else, it seems like the cop would have just like shot her and killed her off.
You could tell, like, by his reactions looking back, like he was definitely like, that was the only thing that wasn't in his plan, basically, was Kirby showing up. And he was like, he was fucked over by that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All the way through. Like, as soon as she shows up, he's like, oh, you're who now? Like, fuck off, basically. Like, trying to.
Well, the other thing that's so absurd in this is, okay, first of all, New York real estate is insanely priced. So do you really think there's a fucking abandoned movie theater up there that these assholes can afford on a fucking cop salary?
It was paid for by the other kids, but then he does say that it's theirs, so he must have faked that. But that doesn't.
Yeah, he did. He
that
says
doesn't
that in
make
the
much
final
sense.
thing.
Then I don't know.
And he says he built that as a shrine to his son because his son loved the Stab movie so much. It's like, you're just basically like trying to like make a killer with motivation. The motivation of this is so boring that like I don't even give a shit.
It was just revenge. It had nothing to do with the movies or anything that had happened before. Scream 5, and I think that's what they were trying to do with this, is like move on from the other shit and characters intentionally. But
the thing is, like, if you're a cop and you know your fucking son's a crazy killer. Like, I mean, obviously, clearly, this guy's moral compass was so far fucked he doesn't know left from right. But
normally,
you're just going to blame this on somebody else. Be like, oh, I need to go on a killing spree now because my son was a psychopath. You're like, what?
Normally, the moral compass of cops is pretty well adjusted.
Yeah, completely. It also didn't make sense that he wasn't mourning after his other two kids actually died in front of him. So then he has no kids left, and he was just kind of still like, I'm pretty chill about all this. Come out here and I'll kill you.
Well, he runs.
Yeah,
he runs at her with a gun when she had a knife. I'm like, why didn't you just shoot her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated his performance in the movie. Like, as the cop, he wasn't as bad, but in the final act, like, he is fucking terrible. I just couldn't even stand looking at him.
Yeah, he's really, really bad.
He should, because he is one of the worst actor performances I've seen in Scream probably since 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen people talking about like, man, it's so cool to see one of the heroes dress up as Ghostface for the first time. And I'm like, did they not watch Scream?
That happened in the first one?
Yeah. Sydney,
hello. It's been a while since I watched the first one.
She does that in the first one.
I've seen 2 through 6 now pretty
uses
recently.
the fucking voice changer and everything. Calls Billy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they like
guess who called the police and reported your sorry ass, or whatever she says.
I like how Gail gives a line of dialogue about Sydney to explain why she's not there. Oh, she took the kids to a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I see like a stupid line in a movie like that, I always think of Rob Lowe and Thank You for Smoking. We'll say they invented the such and such, and so it's like just the write-off. Like,
in the Fast and Furious movies, Paul Walker is not dead.
Right.
So they just always refer to him and show his wife occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, he's just off jerking off in, Cuba or some fucking shit. I don't know.
I didn't get why they didn't just kill him off.
Well, it's weird because the ending of that one movie after he died, there's like the thing that I'm sure you've seen where they're driving away on cars and they're like racing each other. And then the road splits, a fork in the road, and they drive their separate ways. And it's like playing that sad Weekend song or whatever.
Fucking song.
Yeah.
No, that was a song that was written for Paul Walker, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. But it's funny because it's just like, this doesn't make sense in universe. It only makes sense to people who know he's dead.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like Harold Ramis in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
For Harold. Yeah, these movies.
Yeah, there's
Movies in general are just getting way too meta, or whatever you want.
They're getting fucking goofy, that's for sure. But I'm glad we live in an era where we're getting new Scream movies. We had 3 new Halloween movies. We got new Chucky. We got a Friday the 13th series on the way, so we'll see what happens with that. But
Most of those are not good things.
Chucky's great.
Oh, you mean the show? I thought you meant like the remake.
Oh, no, I don't like the remake.
I
The
thought-
show is
I thought we were just
fantastic.
talking about movies.
Well, it's just...
No,
it's-
a lot of TV shows
Wait.
are fine. It's just the movies that are.
well, even...
well, we're at a spot.
even the bad ones, it's like there's plenty of bad movies in every horror franchise. And sometimes you go long enough and you get good again.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for here. Like, I think this is like the lull. Like, right? I think this is. It's to me. I mean, I think, if I rank these movies,
Because the best Friday the 13th movies, in a lot of people's opinions, like they even talked about this at one point. The one girl likes 4 better and the other girl likes 2 better, I think.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like-
in the movie, I was like, her favorite's 2.
Yeah, and she's the one who gives her a weird look, and I'm like, no, the one who thinks 4 is the right answer. Like, that's a decent answer. Like, it makes sense. It checks out.
4 has
Mhm.
the best characters overall, I think.
Yeah, people who say they like the first one best, I just don't trust. I'm like, I don't know. You're just trying to be different and cool.
I don't
like.
hate the first one. Like
I don't
a lot
hate
of
it.
people, but
But like,
it's definitely not my favorite.
no.
But I like the feel of 1 through 5. They all have the same kind of feel to them.
But that's what I'm saying. Like 4 is definitely like. I like 3 and 4 better than 1 and 2 by a landslide.
Yeah, me too.
So they weren't good at first, and they kept going and got better. I mean,
I think they were
down,
good. They
but-
just got better.
the first one's not terrible, but it's so far removed from what they become that like there's no hockey mask and any of that stuff. So it's just like,
There's no
yeah,
dick-
you call this Friday the 13th, that you're not dealing with the same villain. It's just like it became something way more iconic than the original did.
Mhm.
And the original has its own merit, but it's still not the best. Like there's some
I like-
real pacing issues in there.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's 9 or 10 of those movies now.
Yeah.
Lots of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
The Saw
Yeah.
movies, I'll pretty much say the first one's great, and the rest after that are forgettable. But yeah, I don't know.
Is there enough to the premise of the Scream franchise to keep going so regularly, though?
No, that's the thing. Like, it didn't make sense to even do this one unless they were going to overtly
Well, they used
reference
the franchise excuse for this.
Well, they were just supposed to reference other. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't feel like there's, they're already talking about doing the next one. So I'm sure it's going to continue on. But at this point, you've reintroduced all these, you've introduced a new core group of characters, which did we need? I don't know, because it's like, I don't see a point for Gail to come back anymore. Like all these people have had so much trauma. Like, why would you want to keep going through this?
Well, that's the thing. Sam's not even a very likable character. I don't think
Which one's Sam?
the main character.
The older sister? Okay. Yeah.
She's
I always think she's second fiddle to Jenna Ortega, too.
well. You would think
Which I don't think that's the point.
because Jenna
So-
Ortega's character is more interesting and relatable, and like you like her more. I don't know if that's just
Well,
because
people know
Jenna
the
Ortega,
actress
but
more,
like
too. Yeah.
the other one's just more off-putting.
Mhm.
Well, they did the whole thing with, being the killer's daughter and all this other stuff. It's like, if she never met her dad, how would she have visions of her dad talking to her, right?
Right.
Especially her dad, 30 years older.
Especially her dad in the outfits that he killed people in, like in that
Yeah,
white
see, none of that makes any sense, because if he went through that, like her
That's
mother
for
would
the
make sure.
viewer, for sure.
Yeah. And it's the worst type of fan service, because like I don't want that. Like I hate the fact that she even has that vision again. Like it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like you're taking these movies and like adding a paranormal like type element to it. Or,
Well, it's not a paranormal element. It's clearly in her head,
They didn't do anything different.
but
with it in this
it's
one.
but they
dumb.
don't paint it in a clear enough way to really just say that this girl's crazy. And then they're just like, oh yeah, she could be a killer anytime now because she likes stabbing people. And you're like,
Well, yeah, they didn't do anything different with the
boring.
She got hallucinations again and still doesn't become a killer.
No, she had no character arc, I don't feel like, throughout this either.
No, she had no character growth in this at all, right?
I think the only thing you could say that they grew on is when she's like, let me go, and that's what they're talking about, that concurrent thing. But that's not a real character development. That's just...
No, that wasn't. And that was like strictly a play on a line from the character because like clearly she took care of herself when she got released.
Yeah.
And she'd already been doing that. So I don't know. And Jenna Ortega had like some of the best stuff in there. Like as a trauma survivor, that was some of the best dialogue is like, I'm not going to like live my life looking always backwards. And I was like, okay, that's some of the better dialogue, some of the better like viewpoints for that character. Like as to why she was handling things as well as she was. But really, if you put people through this in real life, they're going to be so fucking paranoid and have such bad PTSD, they're not going to be able to fucking leave their house.
All the people who liked this are the same kind of fucking assholes who liked the... I mean, I liked it okay. But I'm saying people who think it's great and rank it up high, like in these Scream movies, they must be the same people that liked that Texas Chainsaw Netflix movie.
But I think a lot of people think more of a movie
they
first see it, and then later on they're like they reevaluate and don't.
Same
like
type
it
of people that are like, they go to a Godzilla movie and they're like, there's not enough Godzilla in that. Like they're just boring ass motherfuckers who just literally go to watch the kills and that's it.
Well, for some people, but there's some people that are in they're developing their film taste right now, and so this is going to have like a heavy nostalgic value to them later on. So like if you're a younger person, you really like this.
Younger people,
I totally respect that because I've seen a lot of movies that are not good movies that I love just because I watched them at a time in my life when I was young, and it was like, I don't know, just sticks with you.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a big thing with Scream 4 for me because that was the first Scream movie I saw in theaters. And I've seen, Scream 4, 5, and 6 in theaters, but I didn't see any of the others.
Yeah.
Did you guys recognize the therapist?
I don't think so.
He was in the first Mission Impossible movie as the CIA handler.
Oh.
And he's back in
the guy who meets him at the restaurant?
And he's back in the new Mission Impossible that's coming out for the first time since 1996.
Oh, God. Well, at least you can know he can still do something.
Yeah.
He didn't do a bad job.
You know who he reminded me of just in looks, just with like the hair color and the beard? Was Maurice LaMarche.
LaMarche, yeah.
Yeah, LaMarche, yeah.
Justin is...
I'm always messing names up. Don't mind me. I'll butcher it. If you bring it here, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, what I liked all the little Halloween costume references. Freddy Krueger was on there. I saw one Jason mask.
Pinhead. I think.
Yeah, Pinhead.
I think they show like the balloons.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be.
Yeah. There was obviously Michael Myers was easy to spot, and Pinhead. Freddy and Jason were both a little harder to spot, but I did see them both.
Pinhead was pretty easy to spot.
Yeah.
See, there's some really cool shit in there as far as like those Easter eggs are great. And seeing this take place in a...
Yeah, he was sitting down. Okay. Hard to notice.
I didn't notice it.
And then in the big city, I thought there's some neat aspects to that. I don't feel like they played that up as well as they could have, though.
Well, yeah, some of that shit with all of the violence in public and then getting away with it is a little horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially in a post 9/11 world where you got people that are willing to, help out for some of that shit, right?
Wait, where was the call coming from? The Upper West Side?
I heard it. Upper West Side thing.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed this as it's an okay Scream movie, right? There's some stuff that I really enjoyed. Like the opening was probably my favorite sequence in the whole movie, just because it was something different. Like a killer revealing himself early on was like, okay, even though I knew they're going to derail that pretty quick, it still felt fun and fresh.
Oh, did you guys notice when Kirby says she's referring to Stu if he's actually still dead?
Oh, yeah. One of the other people said that to her.
My friend there thought it was like a hint that he was going to be one of the killers, especially when you think that she's a killer.
I don't.
They've been teasing in that since Scream 4, right? Ever since they announced Scream 5, like, oh, it's going to be Stu. We never proved that he's dead. And I even heard people like talking in the parking lot after the movie. I was like, someone was like, hey, that really should have been Stu that came back and killed these people. I'm like, Stu would come back to kill
Sydney.
Gail and Sydney at this point. So
Maybe
I don't know.
the next one. 'Cause they should have wrapped
Yeah.
Gail up at least. I feel like I don't know the point of keeping her alive.
Yeah, the
Well,
punch
since
was dumb.
Because if they ever want to kill her again, then it's gonna be like,
well,
we just did this.
the problem with that though is if Sydney doesn't come back, if Nev Campbell doesn't come back, because they tried to severely underpay her for this, which is why she passed.
Well, I bet she would come back if they made her a main character again or something.
Well, they just have to pay her right
Yeah.
too. I feel like
Courtney Cox, I guess.
if
does
they
it.
do a seventh one right away, then she's not going to be in it unless this one did well enough that they can offer her substantially better offer,
Yeah.
But otherwise, I feel like it'll be more like, again, 10 years down the road, we'll have a Scream Legacy sequel again. Like Jamie Lee Curtis returns every fucking 20 years for Halloween. So
You know what I do want to see though? I want to see
I'm gonna have her ass in a nursing home battling him soon.
I want to see the movies where they start ignoring the sequels. So I want them to ignore everything but the
Scream
first movie. Yes, I want them to ignore everything but the first one now. Like, just do something real fucking weird. Because then you could bring Stu back and say that he never died.
Oh, it'd be so weird.
We're doing a new continuity.
They did that with Texas Chainsaw 2 times, and
That is a horror trope.
both
that
of
they
them
could do.
are thought of as some of the worst Texas Chainsaw movies. Although I do like Texas Chainsaw 3D, and I know Nick does too, just because of the
Alexandra Daddario.
yeah, they have that's the thing, is the movie is really a feminist movie because they really appreciate and don't like sexualize the women a lot in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did.
They're wearing baggy clothes, Nick.
No,
You don't have a bunch of
She was wearing
titties and ass out
She was-
in that
Are you
movie.
being sarcastic?
Yes, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
That movie is like tits and ass and chainsaws. The movie.
Yeah. Like someone's like, we got to do Piranha 3D. Okay.
Put Jerry O'Connell in it as a porn producer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll need another viewing on this, but like, I didn't love it, but I didn't completely hate it. Do you guys want to rank these movies real quick? Could you?
Well, I wanted to say, maybe if you went in blind, I think your expectations make this movie a letdown because you were expecting some kind of surprise. You were expecting something different,
Well, the way they tried to market it, I didn't never have high hopes for this. I just
Yeah, and the
was
trailer's
going
like,
in for-
I'm a different kind of good.
I went in with really low expectations, so the stuff that was fun for me, I was kind of surprised
I
by.
wasn't
so
expecting it to be good, but I was expecting some surprises maybe. And it didn't deliver on that.
if I'm
Well,
right,
the surprises.
If
Yeah.
anything, they took the rug out from under me and had Gail survive.
I'm saying obviously Scream's the best one. And
Yeah, I agree there.
I need to watch that again recently.
number 2 spot for me is still going to be Scream 4.
I was going to say that's my second favorite because that's the one that has the most unique ideas out of it.
I think I'd put 1, 4, and 5 in my top 3. I don't like 2 and 3 at all. I didn't like this one.
That's interesting. I'm going to say my number 3 would
don't
be
like the
Scream
characters.
3. Although if I was making a tier list, 3 and 2 and probably 6 would be on the same tier. If 6 was maybe a tier below them.
I'd
but-
put all 6 of them on the F tier.
Oh, come on. Scream 1, you got to put at least at like a C.
A D.
All right, we got it up to a T. No, so Scream 4, Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 6, Scream 5.
I don't like the original characters that much.
I need to revisit 5
Sydney's
because I
okay.
feel like
don't
there's things in 5 I liked. I have to rank
know. I
5
watched 5
higher
a few
than
weeks ago. So
I have to put 5 above 6 because Dewey's in it, and like I really missed his character in this. So
Well,
for
yeah.
me, I personally have to do that.
Here's the thing. I'm ranking it higher now. It's likely that it could change with 5
Right.
and 6 because here's the thing. Richie and Amber, but mostly Richie, obviously, was a much more interesting ghost face than these motherfuckers.
Richie,
They were not,
Richie's the brother of the.
from the Scream.
I
5.
like the actor a lot.
Well, he did a great
Quaid.
job. He was like the coolest
Jack
part
Quaid.
of that ending. Like he pulled it off really well. He gave me massive both Billy and Stu vibes like kind of worked into the same character. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Mhm.
I want you to explain why you like 6 more than 5. Or have you done that already?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Have you? Well, give me a quick rundown.
Mostly because the Ghost Billy shit is so cringy. Scream 5 feels like a retread on Scream 4, even though they're trying to call it instead of a... Like, they're trying to say that Scream... Like, when you watch Scream 4, it's clearly like, look, we're doing the early Legacy sequel thing, but they weren't calling it that at the time. And that's what Scream 5 did. Again. But much worse.
Yeah, 4 was like Force Awakens because there's pretty even amount to
They
do
were
for
calling
the
back
old
to it the whole
characters
time, yeah.
And the new characters both had stuff to do.
And it really sells it for me. And 5 is kind of like, when that related to Billy shit being introduced is fucking trash. And Scream 6 just kind of has to build on that, unfortunately.
I don't think they did enough with it. Her having the hallucinations, it didn't really go anywhere. And then they brought it back in 6, and it went even less of something.
That's the thing is, like, when I think about certain scenes from 5 or 6, I'm like, man, that was a good movie. And then I think about other scenes, I'm like, oh,
like
shit.
if she fully snapped during those hallucinations and then started killing her friends, that would have been pretty cool, I think. But they didn't do anything with it. So,
like the Dewey being killed scene from Scream 5 is kind of trash to me because, not because Dewey's dying, but because I hate the cliche of empty hospitals in horror movies. That's not. You ever been in a motherfucking hospital? Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the 70s in fucking rural Texas or something.
And that's the end. That's the end of 4. Also,
well, yeah,
they were in a hospital.
same. That's what I'm saying. It's a fucking thing. But I like 4.
Except Halloween 2. Halloween 2 did the hospital thing, like the whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's not too.
There's lots of them that do it. Which Friday the 13th is that? When they're fucking next to Jason's body?
Is that the start of 4 or 3?
Yeah, I can't remember. One of those. But yeah, it's just one of those things where they're just always like empty and shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'd put, if I'm doing a tier list, Scream is A tier or S tier. Scream 4 is A. Scream 2 and 3 are both B tier. And C tier would be 5 and 6.
Is this on a Scream scale?
Pretty much.
Or on an all horror movie scale?
Yeah. If it was all horror movie scale, Scream would still be in S tier. And Scream 4 would maybe be in B tier. But it's still up there because I rewatched that a lot. Well, we also have, we have Chucky season 3 that's going to be coming out.
I still haven't watched 2.
I haven't either. And we have Evil Dead's coming out in like next month or something? Another Evil Dead movie?
I think it's
And then
Evil Dead Rise drops in early April. Yeah, so we got a lot of content coming.
you're talking about movies coming?
Well, I was just talking about like different movies and shows of old stuff, and like horror is in just like a renaissance. We're in a renaissance of horror right now because we're getting plenty of the legacy stuff and new original stuff. So you don't just have to be bogged down by the Halloweens and the Screams.
You're
But
talking about doing a Evil Dead animated show. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Seen this? Heard about this?
I have not.
Bruce Campbell even talked about it. He's like, well, my voice hasn't aged yet.
Hey, I'd be down.
So I guess they could do something before the Evil Dead series.
As long as they make it funny.
Well, and the other thing, they could continue Ash versus Evil Dead animated style because if you haven't actually seen that, the end of that series, like they're starting to get really fucking over the top. Like the next season would have been absurd had they not canceled it.
Well, that's what people forget. Like some people even like their favorite Evil Dead movie is the 2013 one. I'm like, man, young people are just fucking weird. We're just in that generation now. I mean, I bet people who watched The Thing in the 50s when the one in the 80s came out were like, fuck this horse shit. Bullshit remakes. I hate remakes. Why Hollywood has no original ideas. Just like
I don't know. It's hard to say because I mean, there's some validity to that, but then again, there's so much nostalgia based stuff. So unless you have someone in your family showing it to you, you're going to see the theater
How many
stuff
times
first.
did they say nostalgia in this movie?
Yeah. There.
Did you see the post-credit scene?
Oh, I did actually.
It's just that girl saying, not every movie needs a post-credit scene. And that was it.
Yeah.
The subway girl.
Mindy, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about it besides it's fine. I'll probably watch it again. I probably need to watch when this comes out on demand or video. I'll probably watch 5 and 6 just to kind of see how they line up together back to back.
Because I have all the Scream movies so far, and I enjoy them as they coming out. Especially in terms of like collecting them all. Like same with Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. There's some of them that I straight up just don't watch. I watched them once and was like, it's not exactly my thing.
I only watch these movies because of you two.
I almost wish
I'm watching the fucking Mario Brothers movie for you. And I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie.
Mario.
I like Mario okay. I like the games more and the original movie just because of nostalgic reasons. How many times have I said nostalgia for?
Are we going to review? Are we going to review that before April 5th?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll figure it out.
Oh, we could do it the same week.
Oh, Mario 2
We could compare
Super Mario Super Show
we do a versus episode with it.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you thought of Scream 6 in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. And follow us online. Go buy a T-shirt. Be ready to buy
Patreon.com/StrangeGlow video.
Yeah.
Let me say it without, because I know this fucking compressor. When we talk over each other, it just like goes. But StrangeGlowVideo.com.
That turns into Adam Sandler.
Patreon.com/StrangeGlowVideo.
Patreon.com/StrangeGlowVideo.
We'll put the link.
Adam Sandler approved.
You put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes. It's always in there, every episode, as well as links.
There you go.
Where are we going to be able to? Are we selling those Alfs on Etsy? Probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them up for sale on Etsy.
So those will be for sale in our Etsy, which is also in every one of our
Show notes.
links. I believe it's
Etsy /
Yeah, it's probably just listed as our Etsy.
Etsy /
But the link's in everything. It's in every. If you're listening to this on the audio feed, it's in there too. So
yeah, I haven't updated our Etsy. I don't know if they'll let me update the URL, so I'll have to see if I can. So either way, let us know what you think and support us as we support you with entertainment and
our Patreon.com/StrangeGlowVideo, $2.99 a month. That's not shit. And again, subscribe during the month of April or March. We'll probably just do the rest of March too. You could be the lucky winner of our Alf figurine and apparently one of the World's Fair coins and maybe some stickers.
Even if you don't like us, these Alf
Maybe some
figures are
nudes.
pretty cool, right?
If you want them. Huh?
Even if you don't like
Yeah.
the Alf figures, pretty cool.
Well, yeah, exactly.
yeah, if you like
One of a
what
kind. If you're an Alf fan,
Well, it's not one of a kind. It's 25 of a kind.
I mean,
A limited edition.
you know what I mean. Well,
if you like
25 for
Alf.
now.
Yeah.
We might mass produce them one day.
And it's good timing for Alf too, with the NECA stuff being in stores right now. I think
These
it's
could be individually numbered.
yeah, they will be. I'm pretty sure.
Later on, they won't be. So these will be the limited edition ones. Oh,
Well, we'll see.
And they'll come with our autographs.
We need to do a photo of us then for an autograph. We need to do an 8x10.
We have my
You'll get
butthole.
you'll get a headshot of all of this.
A close-up of my butthole so that you can't even tell what it is.
But we'll do like Tommy Wiseau, where we'll do it on cardstock, not even an 8x10 photo, so it like is super cheap and to send out.
Take him down.
All my 8x10s are already packed, yeah. I've been dismantling the place. Rip.
All right, kids. We'll catch you later.
Night.